catch, shoot the three of the big guy on him, and it's good. She'll catch, shoot a three off the wing, and it's good.
Touchdown, Yellow Jackets!
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Yellow Jacket Report. I'm your host, Abby Siekmann. In today's episode, we will be joined by head volleyball coach Kristin Carmichael, head football coach and coach of the year John Reiners, along with men's basketball athlete Wyatt Krogman and women's basketball athlete Kassidy Scott. Joining me first is head volleyball coach Kristin Carmichael. How's it going, Coach?
Good.
Awesome. Well, despite the season that you guys had, obviously the record didn't show it, but you guys had a great year.
Yes.
Out of the 28 matches that you guys had, 10 of them went into 5 sets.
Yes, they did.
And the other 7 actually went into 4.
Yep.
Can you just talk about that a little bit and what that was for you and what that felt like for you guys?
I mean, 5 sets are awesome if you win them. 5 sets are heartbreaking if you lose them. But we definitely got a ton of experience, a ton of playing time, a ton of ball touches. I mean, a lot of positives to all those matches. I also felt like those 5-set games, you know, some of the teams that we took to 5 sets and maybe still lost to in the past were beating us in 3. So there's definitely some growth, and we're taking sets off teams and we're pushing teams, and it's just getting over that hurdle of we can win these.
And out of some of those 5-set matches, the very first one, actually, the marathon match that we always talk about
Yes.
against Newman,
Yep.
Lacey Stevens actually set an RMAC record of 49
Yep.
digs. I mean,
Right.
that was...
Which was unbelievable for her, unbelievable for the team. You know, it's one of those games that you'll never forget. As a coach, any athlete that was a part of our program during that time, and obviously Lacey will always remember that she set that record. And I feel like it's one of those records that's going to hold for a long time. You know, it's going to require big, long matches for another libero to get those kind of digs.
Well, and talking about Lacey earning co-defensive player
Yes.
of the year by the RMAC, along
Yep.
with Bryn Eckhart and Cheyenne Palu, all got recognized
Yes.
by the RMAC.
Yep.
Can you just talk about some of those awards with those athletes?
Yeah, Lacey was second team all-conference and then co-defensive player of the year, and very well deserved. I mean, no one's going to see an athlete like her that, you know, puts her body on the line day in and day out. She's extremely aggressive. She got so much more disciplined and so much more better at reading where the ball was going to go that she kind of saved her body a little bit as she got older. But she just did a fantastic job, and I think that the conference got it right. She's definitely a defensive player of the year. Bryn also received second team all conference, and you know, she's just that athlete that does it all. She was leading the nation at one point in triple doubles with digs, kills, and assists, and she's that kind of kid. She is the true all-around athlete. She can do it all. There isn't a single spot on the floor where she's not confident and doing a great job for us. And again, it was nice for the RMAC to recognize her. And Cheyenne, I think it was just awesome for her to be a first-time athlete for us, you know, transferring from a junior college, to get some recognition in the RMAC that she's, you know, a premier player. She led the conference in blocks, and she was a complete stud. She started coming along with some of her offense, too, at the end. And it was just really nice for the RMAC that even though, like you said, our record maybe wasn't where we wanted it to be, they realized that we had athletes that were contributing and just really did a good job.
Well, and also with Lacey, she also broke the school record
Yes,
for career digs.
Yep.
You know, she actually broke a record that lasted for 11 years.
Yes, actually that player was a senior when I was a redshirt freshman, so I know the athlete that she broke that record, and that was so cool. You want nothing more than for your athletes to break records, and for her to do it, you know, she dedicated herself, and I think it was probably one of her goals, but you'd never know that. You know, Lacey's not that kid that would talk about individual accomplishments, but she succeeded and did a great job.
And there were 4 seniors on the team this year. Can you
Yep.
just talk a little bit about them and how they have impacted this team?
Obviously, statistically, Lacey and Bryn, you know, did all those great things we just talked about, but they were just true leaders. They were team captains and just those great kids, role models on and off the floor, and, you know, just gave everything to the program. And then other 2 seniors were Danny Torpy and Chloe Zimmer. Also just really selfless kids. They want what's best for their team. They want, you know, to see their other teammates succeed. Danny did a great job for us on the outside, gave us a lot of, you know, those big momentum type swings that only Danny can provide, and those just great feel-good moments. And then Chloe Zimmer, you know, had that rough year with that injury and didn't get to compete at the end, but she is and always will be an integral part of our program, and was so awesome for us as like a team player, leader on the bench when she was hurt. Before she was hurt, she was doing great things for us in the back row, and those 4 are going to be missed. You know, it's a big class to lose, and they're those kids. We had a had a team meeting already without them, and it's just been quieter. You know, it's just they're goofy, but they're also leaders, and it's just a different vibe.
And can you just tell us what are some of your favorite moments from this season?
A lot of good ones that, you know, funny bus things and all those kind of stories. But a highlight was definitely when we visited that elementary school down in Pueblo. I think that they experienced a lot of cool things, but our team, they still talk about it. It was awesome. It was one of those, you know, feel good moments, and they feel like they made a difference in the lives of those kids, and that's something you can't ever take away from them. And then obviously on the court, I think probably my favorite memory was beating Mesa at home. You know, they were ranked 24th in the nation, and another 5-set match, but it came out on our end, and huge games. We had people just performing and doing things that they hadn't done yet, and then after that match continued to do. It was kind of like our stepping stone, and just the crowd that night was great, and definitely a highlight.
Well, and like that school, I mean, every time you guys talk about it, it gives me goosebumps. It makes me feel like I was there. Like that was just absolutely tremendous of the team, and just serving a whole different community.
Right.
And they say that a coach's season is never done.
No,
so what are you? So what are you focusing on then here in this postseason?
We're hitting the recruiting trail pretty hard, you know, looking for kids that fit with our team and our culture and what we're trying to do, and, you know, looking for some power on the offensive end, but working to maintain and improve the kids we have. You know, we're planning out workouts and planning practices already for spring and tournaments where we're going to go, and it is never ending, and we're looking forward to it. I mean, it's one of those things where the day it's over, you wish it was starting right back up again. So.
Well, thanks for joining us, Coach.
Thank you.
Coming up next is head football coach John Reiners. Don't go away.
There's a lot of things that go into building a successful car dealership. It starts with a great product. Ford, the best-selling automotive brand in America. A sales staff that understands the product inside and out. And a service department with highly trained technicians. All these parts working together make up White's Canyon Ford in Spearfish. Winner of both the President's Award and one Ford Elite Award from the Ford Motor Company for 3 consecutive years. Ranking us as one of the top 60 Ford stores in America for sales and service satisfaction.
Today's car shoppers are smarter than ever. That's why Junix and Spearfish developed hometown pricing. We price our vehicles against the competition so you save time and money. Our vehicles are repriced weekly, so check back to get the best deal at Junix on West Jackson in Spearfish.
Welcome back to the Yellow Jacket Report. Joining me now is head football coach John Reiners. Coach, let's just start with a big congratulations to you getting Coach of the Year. That's a pretty big accomplishment for you.
Yeah, it is, and I'm going to go back and say, you know, it's such a great reward for our whole team. You know, it's a great award. Yeah, my name's on it, but you know, I'm very lucky to be surrounded by a number of just great people. You know, great players, great coaches, administration, everybody that's involved with, you know, our BHSU football program, and you know, I just think it's a great culmination of all the hard work these guys put in this year, and you know, coming off our season last year, and really, you know, just sticking to the plan of what we wanted to do, and so very pleased, very honored, you know, but very happy for this whole entire program.
Well, and let's take a look at some of the other recognitions, though, that the RMAC also recognized. Drew Hebel, Defensive Player of the Year, had 9 interceptions throughout the season, led the conference, led the nation. You know, there's players like Fidel Paris and Andrew Blaylock and Cody Benny. You know, a lot of the seniors also got recognized. Can you talk about some of those honors and recognitions that the other 9 athletes had received?
Yeah, you know, I was very pleased to get 9 athletes on our all-conference list. You know, I think last year we had one honorable mention guy. And I think it just shows the progress that this program is making, you know, to have some of the top tier kids in this league. And, you know, not only that, but we also added 2 programs into the league. So instead of having 9 teams, we have 11 teams. So that's 22, you know, more, or actually 44 more guys they're competing with, you know, to get that spot. And so very, very proud to have that number of guys. You know, you look at first team honors, you know, you got to start with Drew, you know, coming in his first year actually playing with us, you know, coming out and really having a great sophomore campaign and leading the nation in interceptions, and, you know, just has a tremendous knack for getting the football, knowing where the football's at. And then you go on the offensive side and you look at Fidel. Obviously, setting all 3 records, single game record, single season record, and career record, and still having another year to play. But that doesn't happen without a good offensive line and everything. But Fidel's done a tremendous job, and he's such a great role model off the field as well. And then Shannon Jones, every time, I have visits with coaches at the 50-yard line before the game, and every one of them was bringing up, hey, man, number 83. And so obviously he caught the eye of our coaches, and there's some very good wide receivers in our league, and so very, very proud of him to be able to come away with those postseason accolades and kind of get reward for what he's done. Then you look at second team. You look at those guys. Andrew Blaylock, a guy who's come back for his 6th season, has went through some very tough times there. He was one of the few guys that had to go through the coaching change. And, he did all that as a leader, and really, is blocked for a lot of people, is protected for a lot of quarterbacks, and has done a great job in those 6 years. And finally to get rewarded as a second team player, I was very, very happy for him. Cody Benny, I feel Cody Benny's a first team player, but, obviously, there's some very good D linemen in this league and very good nose guards and very good 3 techniques. And so, when you look at it, to have him be able to get that award, I was very, very proud of him, and, kind of a culmination of 4 years of hard work, and he played the last 3 games with a broken thumb, and, just very proud of those guys that got first and second team. Then we got some guys that got honorable mention as well. On offense, we got Ryan Hummel. Then on defense, we got Thayer Sauter, Travis Groves, and Isaiah Burkle. And you really, when you look at 9 guys getting all conference accolades, I think it says so much. And I think we have some guys that I felt like were deserving as well, but you're only going to pick so many, and I think it's just motivation for our whole entire team to continue to work hard and strive through the offseason. I had individual meetings all week and really laid some things out that I feel we have other players that can shoot for that, as far as a goal that they want to have is getting all conference or all American.
And you kind of already talked about it, compared to last season, 0-11, coming off to now having a winning season, 7-4, 6-4 in conference. The team, like you said, has set records with Fidel. Can you just kind of tell us what the keys were that unlocked this kind of a season?
I'm going to tell you the first key to me is unselfishness. This is probably one of the most unselfish teams I've ever been around, where, they really had one goal, and that was winning football games. Everybody wants postseason accolades. Everybody wants records. Everybody wants their name in the paper. You want to be in the lights. But really, these guys put that as on the back door. They didn't care. They wanted to win games. And, you go on 11, it kind of brings to light everything. You appreciate, I told people I'll never apologize for any victory we get, whether that team is losing, had 10 guys that were hurt, or, we end up getting a lucky play. I don't care. A win's a win. And that's all this team cared about. And you saw it through the offseason, they embodied the chase. We started at the bottom. We were 0-11. There was nobody we had beat. And so we had to keep climbing that ladder. And our guys just, that unselfish attitude. And then I think we were more veteran. We had more kids that had more experience. I don't want to say we had a lot of seniors. We only had 8. But we had a lot of guys, whether it was seniors, juniors, and sophomores, that had experience playing. This year, we played some redshirt freshmen and true freshmen, but none of them started. They all had great roles for us, but they weren't thrust into that starting role like in the last 2 to 3 years. We've had freshmen, redshirt sophomores, who a lot of them are starting, and that's just tough to do. And so I think we had a more veteran team. So you had an unselfish team, a team that has more experience, and a team that just now all of a sudden has that will to win. And you win that first game. I'm going to tell you, a 2-point play at Adams State completely turned this team around. It made them say, okay, we can win a football game. And then they just kept feeding off of that success. And we had great leadership too. We had a group of seniors, and we had some juniors with, Fidel and JJ and our captains and guys that, we're going to make sure that, I'll use the Tech game for example. We lost the Tech game, and, we're sitting there, and that's a tough loss. You got 3-0, you got all these things going well for you, and then you get beat by your rival. It's like you can go one or two ways. You can go down, and you can keep going, get back on the horse and go back up. And I remember I was getting interviewed by Colton and Ryan, and the question was asked of, well, what are you going to do? How are you going to get your kids back motivated? How are you going to get these guys going? And I looked over, and I didn't have to worry about it because our seniors were already taking care of that stuff. And that makes my job easy. It makes our coach's job easy. When you have leaders who are, and we got right back on track and won a game, beat a ranked team. And so we had great leadership that just kind of led us on this path throughout the year.
And you guys had a lot of impressive moments. You guys ended a 30-year drought against Chadron State and went ahead and beat a nationally ranked team, Colorado Mesa. Can you just talk about that a little bit and what that was like for you guys and the team?
Yeah, I think when you look at it, I think Mesa was a very, very poignant game, and it was a signature win for our program because, number one, they're a very good football team. They're in the playoffs. I mean, we can hang our hat on saying, hey, we beat a team that's in the NCAA playoffs. They were a co-conference champions, and so, we've shown that we can beat some of the upper echelon teams, and so that was big. At that time they were ranked 13th. Maybe they lost to us and they lost the next game, but they still finished strong in the conference. So very, very happy for our team for doing that. And that was a signature win because we had not, up to that point, beat for that matter, a ranked team, let alone a team that really probably had a winning record or anybody thought we couldn't beat. And so that was a big win for us. And then, we end up at Dickinson State. They're an NAI team, but they're in the playoffs, and so they're still playing postseason. And so that was another big win for us to beat a ranked team. I don't care what division you're in. If you're ranked, you were a very quality opponent, and so that was a big win. And then obviously you go down to another rival game, and we lost the first rival game, and so you got another one coming up with Shattern at the end of the year. You go down, it's tough to play at their place. Even though maybe their record didn't show it, they're still a tough team to play at their place. And somebody this program has not beaten 30 years. And that was a game our guys really wanted. And, to go down there and to see the way we played, sometimes some segments aren't having the best game, and we struggled offensively, but to see our defense just rise to the occasion and get those 6 turnovers, get those 5 picks. And, I still remember Damon Goldhammer, intercepting the ball and running it to the end zone and shooting whole families down there, and they're celebrating. And it's just such a monumental moment for this program to get those wins against those teams that we haven't had that's going to carry over into next year. And I really told a lot of alums, I got a lot of text messages, emails from people in the last week or so, especially after all these postseason awards, that it wasn't just about this team, though. It was about all the guys, that started out, 5 years ago, of putting through the time and guys that stuck it out, whether they were a senior in 12, 13, 14, or 15, that said, hey, we're going to continue to build this. And those guys are just as important to this success that we had this year as anybody else, They unfortunately, maybe their senior year, they didn't get the wins, but for me, I know, and the other guys that are with this program know what those guys meant to it, and that's huge.
And you guys have now completed the chase, and I know your new slogan going into the next year is called The Edge. What are you guys going to be focusing on then this postseason in regards to preparing for next season?
Yeah, we closed the chapter on the chase, and what a great chapter it was, finishing 7-4 after going 1-11, and everything that these guys did to encapsulate that. Now we went into the edge, and Coach Siekmann, our strength guy, he's so excited to get going with the next part of it, and that's great. And he came up with the edge, and I think the biggest thing that we're going to do is number one, we're not going to rest on what happened last year. And what I mean by that is gosh, we better be appreciative, and we celebrate it because it's a big thing. But don't sit there and think that because you won 7 games, you're automatically going to win 7 games next year. Nothing's going to come easy. Now, and Andrew Blaylock said it the best in the senior night. Hey, we had it easy. We were 0-11. Nobody thought we'd do anything. Now all of a sudden we snuck up on some people and got some wins. Everybody's gonna be waiting for us next year, and that's okay. It's just gonna make our guys have to work a little bit harder. But what it is that edge. We're on the edge of, I feel, some very special things. But it's also, you better have that edge, and you better be willing to work a little bit harder than what you've done before, because whatever we did last year, it will not be good enough this year. And so just continuing to know that you can build off the success you had, but we can't sit back and think that success is just going to automatically give us wins. But if we continue to build on that and push as hard as we did, or actually a little bit harder than we did in the chase, we pushed out on the edge, I think this team is fully capable of 7 wins, 8 wins, 9 wins, whatever it may be. But it's not going to happen. It's going to be hard work. It's going to be all the stuff we did in the offseason. It's going to be recruiting. It's going to be all those things, and everybody taking their game to the next level, every coach taking their game to the next level. But what I do know is this team is motivated. I just finished a week of having all of our individual meetings, and these guys are motivated. These guys are motivated to see the success we had this year, but carry that into next year. And so, when we talked about it before, we got great leaders and stuff, and so for us as coaches, the motivation comes in everything they accomplished, but now knowing they want to accomplish more, and so that's the exciting part.
Well, thanks, Coach, and congratulations again on what a great season you guys had, and good luck in the postseason and ramping up for next year. Well, we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Truck buyers know there's only one place for your next four-wheel drive truck, Junix and Spearfish. Find a great selection of Ram 1500, 2500, or 3500s with hometown pricing. For your next Ram truck, look to Junix on West Jackson and Spearfish.
Welcome back to the Yellow Jacket Report. Joining me now is men's basketball athlete Wyatt Krogman. How are you, Wyatt?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Can you just go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, kind of where you grew up, where you went to high school?
Yeah, I grew up in a small town called White River from South Dakota, and we had a very small high school, about 90 kids altogether. My graduating class was 32, I believe. And it was actually like the biggest class. So yeah, that was kind of cool. But you know, basketball was a very big part of the town and community, and everyone was kind of involved in it. So I feel like maybe that's why I was kind of brought up around it. So yeah, it was definitely a great place to live. I really enjoyed it.
And can you just kind of tell us what you're majoring in and what you plan to do after you graduate?
Yeah, I major in elementary education right now, and I'm getting my middle school minor. So I hope to maybe go back to White River and maybe teach and hopefully find a position in coaching, possibly.
And now let's go ahead and switch over to basketball. You guys have a few games under your belt. How are you guys feeling about the season thus far?
Well, we went up to Texas and played a couple games, and you know, the result wasn't what we wanted for sure, but you know, I thought we learned kind of where we were on the season, and you know, we learned that we have to get better, obviously, and I thought it was really good for like a lot of the young guys because they never played in a college basketball game. So, you know, playing in a real one, it really helped them, and maybe it'll, you know, get everyone a little more comfortable in the season, and hopefully we can get the win on Saturday.
And what are some of the goals that you and the team are looking to achieve this season?
You know, one thing coach has always preached is trust the process. So it's all about the process more than the product. You know, live in it, in the moment. You know, try to get better each and every day, and you know, the result will be what you want if you just kind of, you know, it's all about the process. So, you know, one of our main goals, I would say, is to at least make playoffs, try to be in that top 8, and hopefully once we get there, we can make some noise.
And what is your main focus for the beginning of this season?
Kind of just what I said, you know, get better every day. Hopefully, you know, kind of lead the team as far as my main focus is, you know, make sure everyone's ready to go and, you know, lead the team, and hopefully we can have some success.
All right, well, thanks for joining us, Wyatt. Coming up next is women's basketball athlete Kassidy Scott.
Here at Quick Signs, we can make canvas prints to vehicle wraps to anything in between. We have an experienced design team that can start a project from scratch, or we can enhance an existing one. A wrap can be used to advertise your business with minimal maintenance. You can either wrap your trailer, you can wrap your vehicle, or anything that you want to help get your message across. At Quick Signs, we have a high quality standard for our products. We expect that our customers have the same standards when it comes to their marketing materials that they want to provide to their customers.
Commitment puts you above everything else. It looks you straight in the eye. Commitment pledges to see you through to the end, to support you, to be that reassuring face in the crowd, the one who's always there. First Interstate Bank. That's what commitment looks like.
Welcome back to the Yellow Jacket Report. Joining me now is women's basketball athlete Kassidy Scott. How are you, Kassidy?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. Let's just go ahead and start out with, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm a 5'10" senior from Douglas, Wyoming, and kind of grew up on the ranch, kind of a ranch kid, I guess, but I guess people who knew me probably wouldn't really think that that was the case. But a small town, kind of came from a hardworking family, and so I guess that kind of transferred down to me, I guess you could say.
And what are you majoring in, and what do you plan to do after you graduate?
I'm a double major in elementary and special education, and then I'm kind of hoping I would like to go back to like Wyoming and teach, but I haven't quite decided yet.
Awesome. And let's go ahead now and transfer into some basketball. You transferred from Casper College. Do you think your experience has grown since you've started playing here at Black Hill State?
Absolutely. I mean, Casper, it was a great place, and I had a lot of great experiences there, but coming here, the pace of the game is just so much faster, and I mean, you got to pick up on stuff a lot quicker. I definitely tell it's a 4-year compared to a 2-year, and I mean, my experience has just grown immensely since my sophomore year at Casper to my senior year here now.
And how is the experience different from a 2-year college compared to a 4-year college?
At a 2-year, I mean, you're out of high school, but you're not really quite there yet. So, I mean, it's not a 4-year, so it's not, I don't know. It's, like I said, the game's a lot faster, the pace is a lot quicker, girls are a lot stronger. You kind of play, you get that team mentality kind of compared to girls trying to get out of JUCO, get recruited. They kind of just do what they want to do for themselves. And so, I mean, being a part of a family here, like what we have with the girls basketball team, is pretty awesome.
And what are you guys going to focus on as a team then going into the season?
I think our top goal right now is to just get better every day. I mean, we have a lot of veterans coming back from last year who had a lot of playing time, but we also have a lot of young girls who are going to have to step up this year and help us out. So, I mean, getting better every day and being able to carry over from practice into games is going to be huge for us.
And what's it like playing under Coach Nori?
Oh, Nori. He's an awesome guy. I mean, he really, truly cares about his players, and he pushes us every day. This year, he's been really intense, which is awesome because it makes us fired up and it gets us to try to get better every single day in practice. And so, I mean, he truly cares about his players and he wants the best for us, and I think that's one of his main goals this year.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us today,
Thanks.
Kassidy. Well, that will do it for us here on the Yellow Jacket Report. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember, if you want to check out this video or any other videos, you can go to our YouTube page and check out anything Yellow Jackets 24/7 at bhsuathletics.com. Thank you for watching.